What's up, health pirates? So we got Christmas coming up, and if you're anything like me, you only want to give people gifts that are healthy and that can actually benefit them in a positive way. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the gifts that I am getting my own family and that are universal. So you can get the same thing and it's gonna have benefits for everybody. Here we go. Starting off with bee bread. All right, so for bee bread, you guys have heard me talk about this before, I hope. It's a fantastic product. It's nature's superfood. And as I was doing research for this video, I found some pretty interesting facts. So I'm gonna pull this up. I talk about bee bread as nature's multivitamin, essentially, because it's got a combination of over 300 different compounds in there that are bioavailable. So one of the problems with especially multivitamins, but a lot of different supplements out there, is they use the synthetic version of the vitamins. In bee bread, because it is made naturally from bees out of a combination of fermented bee pollen, honey, and saliva, making it more easily digestible, you're able to actually absorb the nutrients. So we covered how it's made, a combination of the pollen that they collect and then ferment through adding honey and their saliva to it, which has digestive enzymes just like our saliva does. If you guys didn't know that, that's when digestion starts, is in the saliva. So that's why you want to chew your food more. Yeah, it contains over 300 compounds, including every single amino acid, along with vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, polyphenols, and more, which we're going to get into those here. So specifically for amino acids, I was reading a study that came out in 2022 that was analyzing all of the available evidence and research that has been already done on bee bread. And here's a quote from that review. It says, methionine, which is an essential amino acid, meaning that we have to get it from food, we cannot create it ourselves, presents highly in functional foods, including bee products, or participates in the DNA methylation reaction and protein synthesis, acts as a glutathione precursor, which is your body's master antioxidant, by eliminating excess reactive oxygen species, and thus protects tissues from oxidative stress. So a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about today help to mitigate oxidative stress. Arginine, which is another amino acid, an indispensable gluconeogenic amino acid, possesses immunomodulatory actions, including enhancing T cell and macrophage functions. Therefore, the incorporation of bee bread into the daily human diet as a valuable nutraceutical food complement is needed. So nutraceutical basically means that it's a compound that has that, well, let me just look it up. If you guys didn't know, if you click on a word and then right click to highlight it, you can look it up. So I'll read you the definition. A food containing health-giving additives and having a medicinal benefit. So that's part of what makes this a superfood, is that it gives benefits beyond just regular nutritional value because of all of these additional compounds. So especially with winter coming up, a lot of people worried about their immune system because of the lack of sunlight. This is definitely something that I am going to continue taking on a daily basis for not only the immune benefits, but also energy boosting and just overall vitality, as we're going to get into continuing on here. It's also got vitamins. It's very high in vitamin C, which is also crucial for immune health, another powerful antioxidant. Packed with B vitamins, specifically vitamins B1, B2, B3, B7, and 9. It's also got vitamins E and K. For minerals, potassium has been found to be the most abundant, which if you are dehydrated or have hypertension or high stress levels, it may be due to a deficiency in potassium and too much sodium. So a lot of people think that sodium or salt is bad. That's not necessarily the case. It's the problem is when sodium, potassium, and magnesium are imbalanced. So I just interviewed Matt Gallant and Wade Lightheart on my podcast, and they mentioned that deficiency in potassium is one of the big problems. So yeah, supplementing with potassium can have huge benefits for you know, just improving a lot of things. I mean, minerals play a role in so many different functions, but specifically for hydration. So it's not just enough to drink enough water. You got to also get the right balance of electrolytes in there. So bee bread is a fantastic source of potassium. Then phosphorus, calcium, magnesium. You guys have heard me talk about magnesium before, which we're going to get into later on this video, as well as iron, sodium, zinc, which is also crucial for immune health, as well as manganese and selenium, also crucial for immune health. So a lot of different compounds in here for your immune system. Then we've got flavonoids. Phenolic acids and other antioxidant compounds are recognized as effective functional molecules displaying numerous biopharmacological properties. In fact, several researchers suggest the use of bee bread as a common food preservative and biofunctional dietary supplement, or as a therapeutic strategy in the prevention of oxidative stress and associated ailments such as cardiometabolic, neurodegenerative, and cancerous diseases. So again, this is from that 2022 review published on PubMed. I will link to this in the description. And I took that quote directly from that paper. So as I said, this is a wonderful supplement for oxidative stress, for reducing it, for improving cardiovascular health, brain health, and it's also got anti-cancer properties and anti-tumor properties due to its high antioxidant content. It's also good at reducing inflammation, oxidative stress, reducing blood sugar, as well as reducing blood pressure. So that's partially due to the high amounts of potassium in there, like I mentioned, and magnesium. Both are crucial to regulating blood pressure. It's also a natural antibiotic. It's got gut healing properties in there due to the probiotics that are in here, as well as digestive enzymes. So it can be beneficial for your gut health as well, which is good for brain health, immune health, all of the things. Everything kind of ties together, and that's why this is like nature's superfood. It has so many different benefits. And normally when people are claiming this type of thing as like a one-size-fits-all cure-all thing, not that this cures all, but you want to be mindful of that. But because this is a 100% natural product, and all of this is backed up by actual scientific research in this study, it really is a super food. A couple other points I want to talk on for bee bread. I mentioned the enzymes that it contains. Enzyme cofactors such as biotin, which is good for hair, skin, and nails, glutathione, another powerful antioxidant, as well as NAD, have also been found in bee bread. These enzymes can transform high molecular weight compounds into other low molecular weight compounds such as polysaccharides and proteins. This makes bee bread more digestible than bee pollen. So a lot of you guys may have heard the benefits of bee pollen. Bee bread is essentially bee pollen on steroids. It's been upgraded because it is bee pollen, but it's fermented, which brings out a lot of these more beneficial compounds and makes it easier to digest. It's also been found to improve athletic performance. They talk about 2 studies in there that, hello Zelda, that used bee bread to improve athletic performance, specifically running and maybe cycling. I forget exactly, but again, I'll link to this study in the show notes. Some people complain that they don't really like the taste of bee bread. I personally love it, and I love it so much that I chew it for a while and let it completely dissolve in my mouth until it's just essentially a liquid mush, which also makes it easier to digest and absorb. But because some people don't like the flavor of bee bread, it also comes in capsule version, which is represented by these Athenian bee pearls. So this is just concentrated bee bread in capsule form. So got a bunch of these to give out to people in case they don't like the taste of bee bread. So you guys can use code CAPTAIN to get a discount on anything from the Stampede Network, including bee bread, including the Athenian bee pearls. They also got a bunch of other products that I use and recommend, but in terms of a overall general recommendation for people, bee bread is definitely my go-to, because again, in this video I'm gonna be telling you guys gifts that are universal, that really everybody can benefit from. So bee bread and the bee pearls are one of those. That one. Next up, we've got Aires. So you guys have heard me talk about Aires before. It's this necklace that I wear that protects against EMFs, which are electromagnetic fields, specifically non-native electromagnetic fields, which are the man-made EMFs. There are natural EMFs, which can actually be very beneficial, but the man-made ones can actually damage our DNA, cause oxidative stress, and a whole bunch of things. I'm not going to go into all of the negatives of electromagnetic fields. I've recorded a podcast with the CEO of this company that talks about that. I've made other content that talks about that. But bottom line is that magnetism is an extremely crucial part of our health, that if we neglect, we can build up this oxidative stress, and that can lead to things like headaches, irritability, brain fog, trouble sleeping, and even more chronic conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer. The list can go on. Most diseases and illnesses stem from inflammation and oxidative stress. So Aires is what I choose to mitigate that. And in my podcast with Josh, the CEO of Aires, he talks about some studies that they're running with bees and how they found that sometimes bees can get disoriented and not find their way back to the hive because of the high amounts of electromagnetic fields that disrupt their navigation. And they found that when they use these Aires devices, they gave a bunch of them to beekeepers in Canada. Beekeepers found that in the winter, where most of the bees would die off, after they used the Aires products, the hives were thriving, and the beekeepers couldn't believe it. So you can hear more about that study in the podcast that I did with Josh. I will link that in the show notes as well. Yeah, so EMFs harm bees just as they do humans. So to protect yourself from that and against oxidative stress, I use Aires. I just bought 6 of these, so there are supposed to be more of these, but they haven't arrived yet. And I've got, this is what I ordered for people, this little sticker on the back of my laptop here. This is their LifeTune 1. And this is an example of a no-brainer investment because it's something that you buy once that makes a tremendous impact in your overall health, both physical health, brain health, everything, because oxidative stress affects your whole entire body. So that's something that, you know, people don't even have to think about. You get the sticker, they just place it on the back of their phone and they're protected. I wear this necklace, I don't even have to think about it, I'm protected. And I actually thought that I lost this one that I'm wearing, so I ordered myself a new one. Thankfully I found this one, so now I've just got an extra one, but I ordered this the day after that I thought that I lost this because it offers me peace of mind in addition to a reduction in stress and inflammation that I've noticed, especially while traveling, because when you're inside that metal tube 30,000 feet above the air, just completely disconnected from Earth, everybody on their phone, just EMFs rattling about. I used to see a lot of inflammation, especially in my legs, and since wearing this, that hasn't happened. So I've noticed a reduction in stress as well as inflammation and just overall peace of mind when I'm out and about. We can't control the external environment, right? So, you know, 5G towers popping up all over the place. Technology is only going to increase, right? Technology is not slowing down. So we have to do what we can to protect ourselves. And I choose to do that through Aires. Again, you can find more about Aires. They've got a whole bunch of different peer-reviewed studies and articles linked on their website. They've invested millions of dollars into research themselves. There's over 30,000 studies talking about the harms of EMFs. So yeah, you can find more about that. I'll link to some of the stuff in the show notes. But until the end of the month, so for December, they are offering my audience specifically the lowest price that you're ever going to be able to get Aires. So when I ordered this and the 6 that I'm giving out as gifts, I used code CYBERCAPTAIN35. This is the lowest price that it's ever going to be offered. It's the lowest discount that I've ever seen. So again, this is for the month of December. Use code CYBERCAPTAIN35 to protect yourself from oxidative stress. All right, next up, still talking about oxidative stress, we've got Magnesium Breakthrough. which is my favorite supplement. You guys hear me talk about this all the time, and it also plays a role in protecting yourself from EMFs because of something called voltage-gated calcium channels. I'm not super well versed in how that works, but essentially you need magnesium for those channels to function properly, and that protects you from EMFs. Magnesium also helps to reduce oxidative stress. It plays a role in over 600 different enzymatic functions in the body. It is a crucial mineral that up to 80% of Americans are deficient in because our soils have been depleted of nutrients due to poor farming practices, just overuse of herbicides, pesticides, over-tilling, and monocropping just destroys our soil. So because of that, we need to supplement. That's actually one of the things that we talk about in my podcast with the co-founders of Bioptimizers, Matt and Wade. And yeah, they said that because of that, the poor farming, we can no longer get our optimal amount of nutrients from food. Even if we eat organic, we need to supplement, especially if you live an active lifestyle and you're surrounded by EMFs, which can dehydrate you and a whole host of other things. I want to keep this a shorter video, so I'm not going to go super in depth into all these things. But some of the main things that I talk about magnesium for is improved sleep. So it can increase your natural melatonin production. It can reduce stress and anxiety. It's actually got an inverse relationship with anxiety. So they found that the more deficient somebody is in magnesium, the higher chances that that person is going to experience anxiety. So yeah, good for deep sleep, stress, anxiety, muscular recovery. It's good for headaches, for hydration. Like I mentioned, it's the imbalance of the electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium. So again, this is my #1 recommended supplement for everybody because most people are deficient in it. And yeah, this is another one similar to Aries and the bee bread that's going to make a dramatic impact in your life because it does play a role in over 600 different enzymatic functions. It's essentially a shotgun for health, just making sure that you're functioning at baseline, at optimal. So yeah, you guys can use code Captain Morgan for Magnesium Breakthrough. So yeah, as you can see, I got 12 bottles to give out as gifts because most people in my family struggle with sleep. They're stressed out, and they're probably deficient in magnesium because they're not eating properly, all these things, right? You can see everything's kind of fits in together. On a similar note of stress, we've got another product from Bioptimizers, which is, god damn, Stress Guardian. And this is a blend of 14 different natural botanical herbs that help with your HPA axis, which is your hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis, which regulates stress. And if that is dysfunctional, which in a lot of people it is, you are not able to regulate and to handle stress properly, and you get overwhelmed, and that can lead to things like burnout. So this is a blend of a whole bunch of different compounds. I'll read out some of them to you. Eleuthero, astragalus, goji, ginseng, schizandra, another form of ginseng, cordyceps, which is an adaptogenic mushroom, and rhodiola. So a whole bunch of different beneficial compounds in here that yeah, are good for creating a healthy response to stress. So I take this not on a daily basis, but when I'm feeling stressed, I take 4 capsules. Serving size is 3, but when I talked to Matt and Wade, again, the co-founders of this brand, they said the real dose is 4 capsules, and that can be taken twice a day. That, especially in combination with the Magnesium Breakthrough, I've found to really chill you out. So magnesium can be called nature's chill pill. This is a good complement to the Magnesium Breakthrough. So I've got a bunch of this to give out as well. I want to keep this a shorter video. So that's it for the everything from Bioptimizers. Again, Bioptimizers has a whole bunch of other supplements that I recommend, but again, products that will help everybody that are basically universal: Magnesium Breakthrough, Stress Guardian. If you have any other questions regarding any supplements from Bioptimizers, you can leave a comment on this video or join the crew and send me a message, and I will give you my personal recommendations. So use code Captain Morgan to get a discount on anything from Bioptimizers. Link will be in the description. All right, and last but certainly not least, we've got Ophora Water. All right, so in here, I think you guys have heard me talk about Ophora Water before. Busting it open with my handy dandy Ninja Star here. So the 4 most important aspects of health are sunlight, water, magnetism, which we talked about with EMFs, and that also goes into grounding, connecting with nature, which will reduce oxidative stress, and consumption. So water is extremely important. This is a big box. All right, so you guys probably know that we are mostly made up of water, right? We're about 70% water, right? But a lot of people don't know that not all water is created equally. There's dead water and there's alive water. There's water that is completely void of nutrients. This is like what comes out of your tap, right? Depending on where you live, there can be a whole bunch of different contaminants in your city's tap water. You can use ewg.org/tapwater to find out what has been tested in your city's tap water. There are, things like heavy metals, birth control even has been found, microplastics, like a whole bunch of garbage. That's for tap water, and plastic bottled water isn't much better. The microplastics can leach from the plastic into the bottle. I talked about that with Dr. Ali Cohen on my podcast with her. Water is extremely important to everything, right? I'm sure most people know that, but it goes much deeper than that. So not gonna make this a whole video about water because that's a subject that, one, I'm still learning a lot more about, the actual importance of water, and the more I'm learning, the more that, I'm getting into it, which is why I got this water for everybody, because I understand how important it is. I have felt a dramatic difference since using this water, and I talked about how it healed my cracked rib over the period of like 12 hours, which I understand sounds insane and impossible, but that's actually what happened. And beyond that, I feel significantly more hydrated from drinking this water. I can drink less water and feel more hydrated, and I'm also more energized from drinking this water. And now that I think about it, my workouts have improved. I've noticed an improvement in muscular recovery and ability to bounce back after workouts. And so the benefits of drinking this water, it is nano pure, which is their like trademarked version of saying that they use a filtration process that has been patented to filter out things like microplastics, heavy metals, chlorine, ammonia, pharmaceuticals, hormones, and more. It removes over 3,000 known contaminants found in water sources. It's also hyper-oxygenated, which is why I've noticed an increase in energy, because we need oxygen, and that doesn't just come through breathing. So Ophora water is infused with unmatched levels of bioavailable dissolved oxygen, providing optimized absorption at a intracellular level. The hyperoxygenation process is promotes more effective athletic recovery, so there we go, and more efficient cellular hydration. So perfect. There we have it. I drank this when I was snowboarding the other weekend, and I felt great, because when you're at altitude, there's less oxygen. So I combined the Ophora water, which provides that additional oxygen, with ketones, bee bread, sent out an email about this, as well as methylene blue, and I felt incredible, even at the higher altitude. Endurance was spot on, energy was incredible, and felt great. It's also restructured. So they restructure it using vortexing, which is basically when you spin the water, and the energetics of rose quartz crystal. And that just improves hydration. And it's also remineralized. So I mentioned most water is dead and void of minerals. And Ophora adds in trace minerals, and it's balanced to a pH of 8 to 8.5. and they add in minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. We talked about that earlier in this video, which helps with hydration. And beyond that, I also like what they talk about here. So now that you have some of the good stuff in your hands, you can just tip the bottle, guzzle, and sip, in which case you will experience the most delicious, soft, light, pure wetness on your tongue, which I can confirm this is the best water that I've tasted. Or you can take the experience even further. This water comes to you embedded with the purest possible consciousness. It is treated like the living, powerful medium it is. So you are invited to add your highest consciousness to it before consuming and multiply the goodness. So I will attempt to give my understanding of this as I currently understand it. So yeah, water is living. It stores information. I don't know how, but it does. So I forget the guy's name, but some Japanese dude did some studies on water and found that, you know, when you play different music or like when you speak to the water, it actually changes the structure of the water and how it crystallizes. Don't quote me on any of this because this is something that I'm still learning, but yeah, essentially water holds information. So how to add your highest consciousness to the water? Drink with gratitude, savor and slow down the experience. Visualize your body being saturated in oxygen and vitality like a thirsty sponge, which that's actually how I feel when drinking this. And smile as you tip to drink. Yeah, it gives some facts on water there, but yeah, water is important and it's obviously something that everybody uses. So I got everybody a bottle of the good stuff. And that's it for this video. You guys can use code, what's the code for this? I don't know, but I have a code for Ophora Water if you want to order that. Yeah, try it for yourself, because like I said, I've experienced increased hydration, increased energy, improved athletic performance, and just feel better. I feel better when I drink good water. And now that I've switched over to good water, I absolutely notice the difference when I drink not good water. So yeah, that's it for this video. These are the gifts that I will be giving to my family to make sure that they are healthy. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And until next time, live the captain's lifestyle. Peace and love, y'all.